I'm back out here checking out my truck for the fourth time, and I was watching my I came in the house to watch the videos that I took, and I didn't tell you. So Dad followed us back in the Yukon, and it's a good thing that he was behind us because we were going up this real steep incline in Mishawaka, like downtown Mishawaka, and we were having a heck of a time. I think the stoplight went through 3 cycles before we were able to get it to stay running long enough to get up the hill, you know, because you know, obviously the manual truck, you can kill it if you don't do everything exactly right, and it took us a while to get it started. I think I'm gonna see if I can just stick this ice thing back there, because I'm sure it'll rattle around. It's probably not a good place for it, but for now I'm gonna stick it back there in the corner, because every time I open up the door it shoots out. So you can see it's got the rubber mat here and some insulation. Let's check out. Oh wow, floor pans are clean. Very clean. Where'd the screw come from? Oh, I'll put that in the glove box. And something cool about the Studebakers that I always like is, and it works, it's easier when the window's down, but if you're, let me just get in the truck. If you get in the truck, okay, and the doors want to shut, but if, say, your door doesn't shut, or, you know, it's not going to flop open, you can grab this little handle here and pull it shut that way. And then the Studebakers were different than the Chevrolets and the like back in the day. The door handle, to pull them, you pull it back, and this one's kind of tight. No, it's real tight. But and of course your crank windows here. I showed you the key lock, the lock. I already told you about the story behind that. And I was talking to my grandpa on the phone, and he said something about, did you have a spare tire? Oh, that's the, I wondered what that sound was. I put my boot up here to pull my pant leg down over it, and it was rattling the boards. I think that's probably what all these cables and things are for. It's probably to pull these tight so they don't rattle around. I didn't notice them rattling, but apparently they did, because, you know, I put my foot on it and it rattles, so I'm sure that they rattle around. But I was talking to my grandpa, and he said, well, do you have a spare tire for it? And I said, well, I know it's not in the bed, and I can't think of a Studebaker that I've seen that's got one underneath it, and it doesn't. I went out and checked it after I got off the phone with him, and it doesn't. But you can see underneath the bed here and everything is real clean. And this looks wet and oily, but it's actually just the paint. You can see the brake lines and everything, and then the lights. Go to the brake lights and the turn signals. There's more of the original blue color that it was. You can see there again on the fenders. And the gas tank up there. I love the sound of these old 6-cylinders. They sound so cool. And there's something I came out here specifically to. Oh yeah. So we gotta get our. It does have a light. I thought it had a light because I always thought the little Allstate thing lit up there. There is a light bulb in there, and we gotta get that back up on there, right? But like I said, it's real loud. I don't know if you guys noticed. It's got a little leather steering wheel cover on it. I like those covers. I think those covers look cool. I already told you the gauges don't work right. We gotta figure that out. These are the lights. You can see the turn signals come on too, like running lights. The back tail lights there. You know, shut my lights off so I don't kill my battery. And the brights are on the floor there. And something. Driver's door doesn't shut as good. The something that I didn't say in the previous video. It's got it's got two horns on it, which that was an option. On the hood here, you can see the two horns. The turn signals there are also options. Now, I always thought that these little lights down here were some sort of signal or something, but that may not be accurate. But she ran good all the way home, and so it runs really good, and the heater kept us warm enough that we didn't freeze our tails off. And I'm just kind of showing you more of the motor here. You saw the dipstick is that cup looking thing there, and that's got to face forward. See that arrow? That arrow has to face straight forward, or it rubs on the piston. And that's what the guy said. And you can hear it click. We're at the gas station, and you can hear it click. So got to make sure that you get that on straight. I'm going to try to block the wind. I noticed in the other part of the video I was kind of blocking the wind. I wasn't blocking the wind, I should say. And something I want to tell you guys while I'm thinking about it, because I'll forget otherwise. Obviously, if you know about Studebakers, they were pretty popular, especially at this time, all around the world. And these trucks, if they were exported to other countries, of course, most other countries, the steering wheel is on this side. And if you'll notice, the panel where all your controls and your gauges are is the same size as the glove compartment panel. And that made it easy for Studebaker to make interchangeable things for both sides. And then of course the glove box there, you saw me digging through. And I'm gonna ask you guys, I know some of you guys that watch my channel, I know of at least one that has a Studebaker, so I'll hopefully you're watching. Alright, so this knob here is a L. This knob over here is a C. And I was kind of wondering what the L's were for, because I don't have any L's. You know, and this truck doesn't have every option. It doesn't have a radio. That was a option for these trucks. So, just kind of curious. I think we have two L's. Yeah, we have two L's. And then I figured out this was for the lights. And I never did figure out what this guy here was for. So we got a good set of windshield wipers there, still in the box. And you can see this one doesn't have, this truck doesn't have the radio, as I just mentioned. I know I just mentioned that. It does have ashtray. It's kind of stuck, but it does pull in and out. Then rubber mat. Somebody, I think, has tried to redo the gauges and everything, like, because it looks like this is probably hand done, maybe not professionally. If you look at that H specifically, you know, you can kind of see, and then the numbers you can't really read on the speedometer. So I'm thinking maybe somebody tried to redo part of it or something. But like I said, it's not logging the miles right now because or it could because the gas gauge isn't working. The gas gauge, yeah. Well, the gas gauge isn't working. Neither is the speedometer. My brain is not working real well. I believe it's got a rebuilt engine, and then the overdrive, Studebaker overdrive transmission. And let's see, something else. Oh yeah, I believe it had 67,000. I don't know. I don't remember what the mileage was. It may not have been that high. I don't remember. Alright, and then it's got also has the option of armrests on both sides, driver and passenger, which kind of was surprising. If you guys know, what are these for? Because I don't know what they're for. I thought maybe the interior, the dome light, I think they're called. But I know the dome lights on a lot of these Studebakers, I don't want to call them a dome light. There was a dash light here, a little light bulb, and then there's a little hood cover thing that came down, kind of curved over like that, and it kind of lit up the heat and optional radio, but it mainly it lit up it illuminated the Lazy S, which, since that's their logo, that makes sense. Seat, of course, is really comfortable. I'm sure it's been redone, but it's redone like original. Oh, the bed, I didn't mention the bed is new old stock. So what that means is it didn't come from the factory with this specific bed, but it came obviously with a bed just like this. This is a original bed from 49 to 54, I believe, is where they made these trucks, the time frame they made these, and of course they made that bed for a long time. That bed carried over a couple body styles. But so that is a original Studebaker factory bed here, and like I said, I'll probably have somebody paint it, and probably with this brown color here, paint in the letters and the stripes. I always think that looks really nice on these trucks, but especially the letters, just so you know what you're following. We were at the gas station filling up and checking the oil and all that, and a guy stopped, and he knew exactly what it was. He's like, "Oh, Studebaker," and he was all excited, and we talked to he and my mom and we all talked about it for a little while, and he was a really nice guy. And one thing I do want to see is, see, like there it stays, but what causes these handles to sag down like that? Because if you look at the other side here, Other side doesn't do that. Other side is just fine. So, kind of want to figure out what's going on there. And for those of you that don't know, it does have the rod, the prop rod, and then it just goes in this little thing here. So, and I was talking about on the what I assume is the original Studebaker front badge on the half of it that says Baker. It only has one of the pegs. The other two pegs are broke off. For any of you that aren't car guys that are watching this, I'll show you why that's an issue. That's an issue because that's how these. That's an issue because that's where these pegs go into go in and hold that on. Same with these ones on the side here. They got the pegs on them there, and you can see the back side of the glove box. That's the back side of the glove box, and then that's of course all your electrical stuff, and that's your heater, which surprisingly the heater impressed me for an old truck. Did pretty good. And what the guy that we got it from and I were talking about was and my dad, we were all kind of talking about it. I took a video during part of the conversation. Not a like super high quality paint job, not a show truck. And let me get, since the sun's facing this way, see, this side looks pretty good, but there's some spots. He said, he figured maybe if you polished it up, maybe it would come out. But you can see it's just not a real smooth, clean job. And of course, it's got a couple chips in it, but it's a truck. And so we were talking about, this is probably, you don't want it, and the guy was talking about this, he doesn't want it, and I don't either. You don't want it so nice that you can't use it. This is gonna be my driver once I get the shift pattern down. I gotta figure that out first. This is the first day that we've had it. First couple hours we've had it. You can see the sun's going down, and so I've got to get the pattern down before I can start going anywhere in it. And then of course right now with the whole COVID virus going around, the BMV's closed, so that kind of presents an issue. I was gonna say something else before that, and I don't remember what it was. And I'm sure when I figure it out watching this video I'll remember, but maybe it was something along the lines of, since it's gonna be my driver once I get the pattern down, I will haul stuff in it. It will be a truck. This is my favorite kind of truck that there is a 49 Studebaker, and this was their first redesign after the war. Was this body style here, and if you look at a 46 or 47, I'll just leave that. And they made the body style for more than that, but the front is completely different than this. They kind of look like they had a mustache. These trucks, to me, you can't look at this grill and not smile. They look happy to me. And I just like, they're kind of bubbly, and I don't know, they're fun looking trucks. They're fun to ride in. I'm super excited about it. And so the thing about, it's gonna be a truck, so I don't want it to have a super high quality paint job on it, because then I'll be afraid to drive it because it'll be so nice. So with it being like this, it's presentable. I can take it to car shows, but it's also I can use it, and I don't have to worry about, you know, if I'm going down the road, you know, like this, if it gets a chip in the paint or whatever. I mean, try to take good care of the paint, obviously, but it'll be a daily driver. So, and like I said, it's got the beauty rims here, and it's right now it's got the radials on it. They're all weather tires, which is nice, and I like the white walls. When I have to buy tires for it, I probably won't get white walls for it, but I do like the white walls on it. We're gonna see about sorry, I shook the camera really bad. We're gonna see about polishing up the hubcaps. That one's corroded. This one's got a little bit of rust, but it's pretty good. The odd thing was, this one's corroded, like the chrome plating is wore off, but then this one's rusted, so I'm wondering if maybe after that chrome plating corrodes through, maybe that's when it gets rusty. I don't know. I think this is probably the worst. I don't say worst because it's not terrible, but worst out of the four. Yeah, the front two are okay. This one needs some love, but I think that front passenger one is probably the best looking of them. And then of course you got the that beautiful bullet hood ornament there, and with the holes, air holes in it. I just think those are so cool. See a lot of pictures in magazines and calendars that are exactly this angle. I told you windshield wipers work great. I didn't really show you very well, but it does have the drip rail. I can't talk, the drip rail on it. And somehow, look, it's still dusty. And it was raining on the way home. It wasn't raining too bad, but it was raining. The guy that we got it from said that when he got it, it had been sitting for 30 years. So he had the engine rebuilt by an old Studebaker guy. It's got, like I said, it's got the Studebaker overdrive transmission. He had to get the a drive axle made for it because he had the overdrive transmission. Actually, there's the sticker for the drive shaft. So there you go. And while I'm under the truck, you can just really see how clean it is. I know it's getting dark out, it's kind of hard to see, but it's not leaking real bad. You know, old truck is gonna have a couple oil leaks or something, but it's not terrible. The rockers are solid, bottoms of the doors are solid. I've seen these trucks a lot where they do, you know, rusty ones that are like projects or something. They don't rust everywhere, but where they do rust is bad. They'll like rust out along the edge of the door and then the step. Well, if it's rusting out in the edge of the door and then the step, those are probably not very good places. And I found on the internet you can buy a whole new floor pan if you need it. This one doesn't need it. You can buy pretty much everything to you know, get one of these running. You can find the beds and everything. So I've probably blabbed on enough. This will probably just be a part 2 to the first video, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys my truck because I'm super excited about it. And so I hope you guys think it's as cool as I do. I texted it. I took pictures of it and I texted it to about all of my friends and family. I didn't get it sent to a couple friends just yet, and the ones that I didn't get it sent to, they'll probably see it in this video, so I won't have to send them anything. But I'm gonna say this and then end the video. I was talking earlier about the mirrors. Obviously 49, passenger mirror was an option. Passenger mirror was an option for a long time for every vehicle. In 1996, you could still get a Chevy truck that only had a driver's mirror. You didn't have to have a passenger side mirror. That was in 1996. But so anyway, that was a thing for a long time. But anyway, obviously in '49 that was an option. Some of the Studebakers had mirrors that were just a long rod, and then they went out and they were a big monocle, bigger than my glasses rim, but not super big. You know, kind of like the mirrors on this S10 over here. You know, they're little. Oh, the cat's under there. Scared me. They're little, and these are all right to see out of, but the ones on these Studebakers were little bitty, hard to see out of. I know they're hard to see out of because my uncle had a '57 Chevy 3800, which is the 1-ton with a flatbed dually, and it had the little monocle mirror. Hi guys. And it was a tough thing to see out of, so I was happy to know that it had the little round, or I was happy to know it had the square mirror on it. I'm gonna get the wax paper out of here. It's been floating around for a while. Little bitty rear view mirror here. I'm gonna see how that goes. With it being that small. Not used to that yet. My mom didn't like it driving home, but she said that's up to me as long as I can see. So I'm gonna try it out and go from there. You know, don't knock it till you tried it. The aluminum window with the felt padding there. This interior one you can see is kind of crooked. But are we missing the rubber? I think we're missing a rubber seal on our window there. Yeah, we are, because this one's got it. But you know, obviously the vent windows. I love having vent windows on a truck because they let in the air and not the rain. These might. These are pretty big vent windows. But as I say, trucks like that, you know, I think that one's got vent windows. Yeah, that one's got vent windows. And they're not quite this big, so they don't let as much rain. These, if you're going down the road, they might still let in some rain if you had them open, but it wouldn't be like having the window itself down. And then you got the drip rails, so the water's not running down over the window. So that's a nice feature. You can see the dust, the reflection of that beautiful sky with a beautiful truck. So like, comment, subscribe for more. Have a great day. I'll catch you in the next video, and I'll keep you posted with my new 1949 Studebaker 2R-5 12.